hearing is Jalen Carter, the D tackle from Georgia, just won a national championship with the Bulldogs. Big guy, 6'3", 315 pounds. He could make an immediate impact, a day one starter because of his ability to create pressure.
What up? It's Too Much Dip Podcast. I'm Dave. Joining me in studio, as always, Dillon Shivery.
Not much gets me as excited as when Dave's got some kind of sound clip queued up and looks at that board like he's Martin Skrillex and he's ready to start making something just absolutely happen for the people.
They were calling me Martin Skrillex.
Really?
No, in fact, that's mixing an already very niche joke that you just made, so that was stupid.
I should have seen this dude on the board just now.
Y'all should have seen him.
Gosh.
You can see me. Go to YouTube and watch this.
Hey, man, it's that time of year when I'm just crazy horny for Puck.
Yeah, well,
I am.
I hope you're sitting down. You are. I'm looking at you.
My Golden Knights are buzzing.
Guess who's here?
They got the Connor McDavids rolling into town.
Yeah, that's not the team name, but he is on that team.
It's going to be sick.
If only we had an expert live in studio. Oh, it's Cold Stone's own. Cold Stove and Cold Stone's own Brett Merriman.
Thank you for having me again, Too Much Dip Nation. I appreciate you inviting me on to talk puck in this time of year. I have, however, never worked at Cold Stone. But
What is Cold Stone? Is that ice cream?
it's ice cream. One of my favorite ensembles, I guess, of dessert items you can have.
Okay.
No, it's like it's not the best ice cream pound for pound. It's not the best Oreos pound for pound. It's not, but when you put that together on the stone, makes one of my favorite desserts of all time.
Okay.
Shouts to the Cold Stone at the Prudential Center in Boston.
There's just something about that stone. When it gets cold, it's different.
Its stone is cold. That's the thing about it. People don't realize.
Before we hop in, can I just ask you on the rundown if you have anything about Antonio Brown?
No.
Should we?
Yeah, well, fuck you, Antonio Brown.
Well, yeah.
Ooh.
Fuck that fucking asshole.
Noted scumbag Antonio Brown.
Scumbag.
I'm sorry. What
What did he do this time?
I've apparently missed some breaking news here. I knew he wasn't well liked, but
So he purchased upstate New York's premier Arena Football League team, the Albany Empire.
got it.
My hometown team, Dave. Sort of. It's like a half-hour drive south. But we claim them. They play at the arena that was traditionally like the closest to see any minor league hockey, arena football, NCAA basketball. Many a time it's been a regional destination.
They're going to start selling Bud Light at the stadium now or what? What's going on?
Only Pepsi products.
Oh, okay.
It used to actually be called the Pepsi Arena. Now it's the Times Union Center, maybe, or something, CEFQ, whatever. But Antonio Brown bought 95% of this team, and in 3 weeks of the season, 2 head coaches have quit. The GM is out. 21 players have quit, and he hasn't paid anybody.
Well, that seems like a problem.
What?
Violation of
Fuck him.
numerous labor laws.
He's making us look like the Capital District in upstate New York look bad, and he's putting out calls for players on Twitter to come play for them. Hasn't paid anybody.
Is this like a Dion, Colorado? Like he just wants to get his guys in there? He's just kind of
I don't
weeding
know.
out? It
I
doesn't
think-
really work like that.
I just think he's a scumbag who was like, oh, let me buy like a cheap arena football team and then run it into the ground because I thought it was going to be different.
Maybe he's trying to tank the team so they can relocate.
It's like, it's so dumb. It's just so, and like, it's,
What an asshole.
yeah, he is a true scumbag. And
Well-
like, I know people that have worked in the communications department and PR stuff for Albany. It used to be called the Albany, like Sword. I don't even remember, but Albany, they've been around for a long time through ups and downs of arena football. But Albany's always had a team, and I've had buddies work in their departments, and now they're just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then, like they were making crazy money anyway, kind of scraping by, and now they're just not getting paid by this fucking scumbag.
Well, I'm going to speak for everybody here, and I hope you guys don't mind. This podcast is a pro-labor podcast, okay? So the workers must unite, and we got to do
I don't even
something
know if
about
it'll matter.
management. Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know
I'm
how
looking
that
at his
works.
Twitter feed, and you're right, dude. What the hell?
It's just so weird.
What a
man. Like,
scumbag.
You could probably get a tryout.
I can still sling it a little bit. I'm not very mobile or accurate with the football, but I can still spin it.
Okay.
So plus I've never I've never run like an actual offense before.
Okay. Yeah, you're not really selling yourself here. I actually take back what I said.
I've never gone through the progressions and thrown every part of the route tree efficiently. So I'm not really selling myself, am I?
If you're wondering, no, not at all. If you're wondering where KJ's at, KJ called me. KJ's going to be joining us in probably the next 10 to 15. He tried to, I believe he tried to record from the Frisco Public Library, but they wouldn't let him because he didn't have proof of residence. I don't know. It was very quick convo. I'm very excited to hear what went down there. But Brett's here. So we're just gonna kick off with some hockey. But before we do, I need you guys to go follow Too Much Dip Pod on Twitter and Too Much Dip Podcast on Instagram. You're gonna get memes, you're gonna get fun stuff, you're gonna get show clips. Maybe some of the show clips will have a joke of mine that don't land with most of the MMA community on YouTube. That's okay. That's okay. It's fine. I'm happy to be the laughing stock of MMA fans around the world. Fine. I'm not mad at all. That's not at all as I shrink and turn into a corn cob. Anyway, Brett, how about this hockey, man? Can you break the Houston Coyotes thing?
No, I can't yet. But man alive, is it looking like the Coyotes are almost guaranteed to not be in Arizona moving forward.
And
Potentially even not like next season. Usually these things take a couple of years to like, oh yeah, they got to sell and then move and build. No. Like next year, they may no longer be like they may have played their last game in Arizona
so why is Houston the front running city right now to get that team?
because they have an arena that could basically fit a rink could be NHL sized with NHL audience immediately. Broadcast is there, housing, all the things that go into putting a hockey team in a city. It's already done. It's as turnkey as any market out there. Maybe Kansas City and maybe Quebec City, but
Houston doesn't deserve a hockey team.
Oh,
what about the Arrows, dude?
I think they do.
I think they should. I think
It'd
it'll be fun.
It would be fun. Have a little Dallas Houston rivalry.
I'm just envious, Dave. I mean, I'm so just starved for real professional sports in this city.
Oh, you want it here?
We can't have fucking anything. And soccer. I'm sorry,
Ooh,
doesn't count. It doesn't count. I want one of the big sports here. I'm so desperate for it.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I don't know why they didn't make the Moody Center capable of holding a hockey rink. I think that's a dumb move, a short-sighted move.
Biggest city in the country without one of baseball, football, basketball, hockey.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I know.
Give me one of those, and I will be so happy.
Vegas has like 9 teams in the last 3 years.
New York has like 7 hockey teams. It's ridiculous.
Real quick, if I know Elon has his fingers in a number of different holes. What's
so disgusting.
What's the phrase here? He's got his iron, his skillet.
A lot of irons in the fire.
That's the thing. Well, I'll say this: if he wanted to become more likable, he could lead a franchise here. He could be like the guy who gets that going.
You need like 3 Austin multi-gajillionaires, and then you're
Tito's.
good. Tito Beverage. Elon probably will just
Michael Dell.
Michael Dell.
And Dell.
We got some billionaires here.
We
man.
got some Billies.
There's no way those 3 guys get along.
No.
Tito seems very chill. We met him. Not trying to name drop or brag, but we did meet him. Michael Dell. Somebody saw him in an elevator going up to the chiropractor. It was you, wasn't it?
I rode an elevator with him. Yeah.
Very cool. Was he cool?
We just one floor. We rode together. We didn't have much of a conversation.
He didn't like nerd out in those 30 seconds.
He told me to bring back the forums. Actually,
Okay.
yeah.
Fan of
I said,
TFM.
I said, Mike, I love what you're doing, but I can't do that.
I love what you're doing with the computers and
Yeah.
whatnot. And then Elon, whatever.
Yeah. The biggest problem is we don't have an NHL arena. And like the Texas Stars are great. You don't want it at Cedar Park for sure.
No, I'm not going to a game up there.
No.
No offense to our Cedar Park residents.
Sure.
Yeah, we mean no offense.
I don't know what you do. You need to build a rink, and as soon as Austin has the facilities or at least the land set aside, I know. So Houston's going to get it. Probably Kansas City and Quebec City, but the economics of the Canadian dollar don't exactly align right now. So
Something, Dave.
I got to ask you a question, Brett.
sure,
You're saying Quebec City. Is it not Quebec?
it's Quebec.
Okay. Good. I've been saying it wrong, as probably most Americans or definitely most Texans, for a very, very long time.
I mean, they're Canadian, so they're not going to get too mad at you, but it's Quebec.
Okay. Good to know.
By the way, the reason this is all taking place is that Tempe, Arizona is holding a public referendum, to decide whether or not they are going to pass a $1 billion multi-use entertainment and sports complex in Tempe, which the public, for some reason, is going to vote against. So
Interesting.
there are a lot of NIMBYs over there, Dave. You know what that is?
No.
Not in my backyard.
Mm.
So you're a NIMBY.
Okay.
Well, Austin has as many of them.
Yeah, I get it, man. Quebec formerly hosted the Nordiques. Remember the Nordiques?
Everybody remembers that. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I still don't really know what a Nordique is. Can you help me out?
I'm going to guess it's just
A
related
whale?
to sort of like Nordic,
Okay.
like the Northerners.
That's the smart play here. That's where the money is.
Brett, as a co-host of the Cold Stove podcast, give us some context here. How big was that Boston Bruins collapse?
You know, it's almost sad because it really, the more this happens over the couple of years, like the Lightning in 2019 had one of the best regular seasons of all time, bounced in the first round, swept in the first round by your Columbus Blue Jackets, Dillon.
Mm-hmm.
Boston, greatest regular season of all time, most wins of all time in the regular season, and they get bounced in the first round by the Panthers.
Sheesh.
So it's just throw the record books out, Dave. Playoff experience.
Playoff hockey, Dave.
Playoff hockey, anything can happen. That's why you just have to make it.
Who we
you
blaming?
just have to make the
Oh,
tournament.
who's the blame fall?
Heads
Stop
gotta
it.
roll,
so
man.
so
Monty?
the one thing that Bruins fans and faithful are holding on to is that they believe the goalie Allmark was hurt, and they kept him in too long, being not at himself.
Okay.
So you're up 3-1. Allmark and Swayman kind of duel it out, and then he's kept in for too long while being not 100%. So you're giving away a game, and then that game becomes 3 games.
I was just going to say real quick, you got to feel bad for Boston fans who never have anything nice.
Right. Their success over the last 20-something years is...
Yeah.
I did see our good friend Pete Blackburn's video. He immediately, props to him. He talks a lot of shit. That's what he does about other hockey teams.
He wears it, though, when he has to.
He knows a lot about it. But he got out there and he faced it, and I genuinely felt bad for him. I was like, and I like Pete, so like that had a lot to do with it. But I was just like, damn, this dude's hurting. This is a guy who knows that the next until the Bruins like run back a cup, like he's going to be hearing this.
You got to be built different to be like that. I just run and hide, and I don't even talk shit on the TL.
No, you really don't.
If Texas goes down to an inferior opponent, and it's happened several times of late, I don't even talk shit, and I'm off the TL for 2 days. I just like, you know what? I'm not going to read what people have to say.
Yeah, and credit to Pete for doing that. But the problem with this Bruins team is that they were old, Dave. A lot of UFAs. They multiple guys could be retiring on this team. McAvoy said as much. One tidbit of information that the guys talked about over on 32 Thoughts, shouts to them. They basically were potentially going to play in Australia next year, like an exhibition series, or it might have been a real game. And they had to take a vote as a team. They said, do you want to go to Australia? It's going to take a lot, be away from your family, etc. And Bergeron didn't want to vote because he said, I don't know if I'm going to be here next year.
What's that flight from Boston to Australia?
It's far, Dave.
Probably Boston to LA and then LA to Aussie.
Far.
They don't fly over like the North Pole?
They could fly anywhere they wanted to, really, to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. There are many options.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Anyway.
that's that was a stunner.
Stunning. But it sets up a matchup with probably the 2 best American-born players right now. Matthew Tkachuk,
Mm-hmm.
Austin Matthews.
I've been enjoying these playoffs quite a bit, especially the nights when my Dallas Stars aren't playing, because I can just pop it on. There's a Game 7 on or a Game 6, and it's just they're usually good. They're usually very good.
One of my favorite first rounds in recent memory. You kind of stuff that you don't expect to happen happens. Although I did mention the Seattle Kraken potential upset there that happened, and now here we go. We have Oilers Golden Knights, which is definitely my favorite series of this upcoming round. Dylan, the Connor McDavid's versus
We got
The G
we
Knights.
got the Stone Man. We got Marchessault out there.
Everybody's
Just naming
pretty
players.
banged up.
We got the Eichster. We got Phil Kessel out there just dangling people's little dicks off.
Yeah, Philly Kessel is he's old and he loves hot dogs, but man, he's when he gets the puck,
You're talking
he
about
kind of is the glizzy. He has El Glizzidente before you.
Talk to
Sorry.
me about the Golden Knights' chances here.
I think this series goes 6 or 7. Honestly,
this
Yeah.
guy just
And it-
moved it along so he couldn't make an old Glizzy joke.
I'm here to talk puck, Dave. All right, I'm horny for puck. You know that about me right now.
He is horny. He's why he's sitting down, folks. He's
So the
fully
Oilers,
aroused.
I know about Connor McDavid.
mm-hmm.
I know that he's the best player in the league.
He is
He's very, very
on
good.
the planet. Get
Um,
familiar with Leon Draisaitl, Dylan,
Okay.
because he's going to score goals on you. You're going to be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Okay.
Get familiar with Darnell Nurse. You're going to hate that guy.
I should
by
be
the end of the-
concerned.
Yeah.
Okay. The Oilers probably the favorite in this series.
If you give the Oilers a power play,
They're going to score.
get on the edge of your seat because it's going to be 2 minutes of like, oh fuck.
2 minutes of hell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
the Golden Knights, to their credit, have their own players. Jack Eichel's playing
Eichmann.
incredible hockey right now.
Stoneman's out there with a healthy back, just out there doing his thing.
Healthy-ish, but he's
Sure.
out there. He's out. He's like you playing golf. He's like, it hurts, but I'm going to play through it.
Yeah.
That's why
That's why finishing that series in 5 was probably very crucial for them.
huge for them.
Okay.
Good goaltending. You got a rookie goaltender on Edmonton playing, so you never know. He played well against the Kings, but it's going to be a fun series. It's going to be a fast series.
I'm excited to watch McDavid play.
You should be.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast. I think games are going to be like 5-4, 6-5 in that series.
Okay.
Now, the Dallas-Seattle series that starts tonight, polar opposite. We're looking at like 2-1, 3-2,
Okay.
and it's going to be a nightmare for Dave because if a goal is scored, it's going to be like, I don't know. I don't know if we can get that back. Whereas your series, it's going to be goals all over the place.
Hockey is anxiety inducing for your boy.
Yeah, Dave's going to have some late nights. We're just saying it right now.
Yeah, we got an 8:30 puck drop tonight, and it's a Dallas game too. Who on the Kraken? Who am I going to hate? Who is there? So the Wild. It obviously after game 1, it was Dumba,
Yeah,
and Ryan Reeves. Everybody knows Ryan Reeves.
sure.
Who on the Kraken am I going to be like? Oh, that's the guy.
You're going to hate Matty Beniers because he's not on your team.
Mm.
You're going to love Beniers. You're going to love the way he plays. You're going to want him on your team next year.
So he's got it all: physical.
Physical, fast, young, kind of that like a hot shot personality a little bit.
Mm.
Jordan Eberle, another name you're gonna hear a lot.
Yes.
He's a glue guy, but they play well. Vince Dunn, he's gonna throw a check that you're like, that's not legal.
Oh, weird. Didn't just go through an entire series with those. So
Yep, you're gonna hate Vince Dunn. You're gonna hate Philip Grubauer, excuse me, because he's an outstanding goaltender. Outstanding goaltender. Hell of a
Yes.
hockey player.
that's probably where this series is won or lost, right?
In goal, because the problem is neither you nor the Kraken have a, what do you want to call it, like a go-to, this guy's going to get 60 goals a year scorer.
Might want to.
I mean, Robertson,
Healthy Rope.
Rupe, like everybody's like tier 1B, whereas they have Jack Eichel, they have Connor McDavid, they have Leon Draisaitl. You guys both teams that are about to play, it's going to come down to the depth. Like your third line versus their third line is going to decide the series.
Interesting. And Pavelski game time decision.
Pavs.
Pavs. Get
Potentially
Pavs back
back
on
in the mix.
that top line.
I do think Dallas wins this, and they might even win it handedly. Like Dallas in 6.
I was going to say 6. You never want to say Dallas in 5 because it just seems like you're setting yourself up to look silly. And then the anxiety starts building, and the next thing you know, you're the team with the greatest record in regular season history, and
True.
you get taken out.
Are you going to go to a game?
Do you want to go?
Yes.
Let's talk to Cali. Let's orchestrate something.
I will go. I will absolutely go to a game.
Okay.
Because it's going to be a fun series.
You're talking about in Dallas, not Seattle, right?
Well,
I would love to go to. I bet Seattle's an electric atmosphere.
the Climate Pledge Arena,
The Crack House.
the Crack House. Yeah,
Oh, so they're doing pledges?
it's the Climate Pledge Arena.
Okay.
AKA the Crack House.
Is that an official nickname?
Sure.
I think it's unsanctioned.
Okay.
Then lastly, I'll mention Toronto, Florida. Going to be a very fun series. A bunch of studs all over the place there. And then the sneaky series is New Jersey and Carolina, 2 teams with not a lot of star power, but 2 very fast, very well-constructed teams. They're two teams that have sort of followed the Moneyball model, Dave. A lot of analytics on those squads.
Love it. You know, we're deep in the weeds on that next gen stats,
No
things of
doubt.
that nature. Hey, our guy on the Devils last night who got absolutely just steamrolled, got caught with his head down. What's his status?
Timo Meyer probably sore today, but he did appear on the bench in the third period of that game.
Hockey guy.
Wildly, yes.
I thought we had a broken face on our hands. I thought that was a very, very bad one. But he didn't hit his head on the ice.
He didn't hit his head on the ice, but he had that, like, his muscles locked up. Sometimes a football hit does that, and it's just like, oh my God. Speaking of hockey guys, Joel Eriksson Ek, Dylan, you familiar with him?
Of
His
course.
work
Love
on the
his
Minnesota Wild. Played a game with a broken leg last series.
You ever done that?
Remember T.O. played that Super Bowl with a broken leg.
You podcasted with a broken leg.
Yeah, ever done that before? Probably not.
No,
Has this guy ever
knocked
done
on
that
wood.
before?
TBD. I don't know.
Yeah, he probably hadn't.
You also podcasted with sore calf muscles.
Yeah. Has he ever done
What's
that?
wrong with your calves, dog?
I had DOMS one day from some
Delayed
calf-
onset muscle soreness.
some calf raises.
Oh, okay.
He had lactic acid
Dude,
in his
I
calf.
thought you were doing like Dom Mazzetti
For
or
3
something
days,
like that.
I couldn't walk without looking like
Really?
a total idiot. It was
I've got video
very
of it.
bad.
He gets
no.
mad if I release it. So I
I
won't.
don't get mad. But yeah, it was very uncomfortable, very unsettling.
Okay. Dave, I'm excited. Playoff hockey round 2. Let's go.
Do you want to give us your Bills draft opinion? Bill, any knee jerk? You want to give us your official Brett Merriman big game grade of the week?
Sure. I'll give the Bills an A-.
Ooh.
I'm not Dolphins draft guy .gif. I am the dude clapping, proud guy clapping .gif.
So you're the guy. Okay, so you were aware who Dalton Kincaid was.
I was.
Good.
No relation to Thomas.
My hey, if you saw my board and I didn't show anybody because I try to keep it a secret till later on, I had him atop my tight ends.
I do need to find out from potentially an intern of ours whether or not they were going to take Kincaid right before the Bills, because the Bills I think were 27 and the Cowboys were 26, and they by all accounts it sounds like the Bills expected them to take Kincaid, so they had to leapfrog them.
Bills added a run stuffer today. Former Longhorn great Poona Ford signed a 1-year deal there because he wants to win a
Really?
Super Bowl. He had better offers elsewhere, but he wants to win a Super Bowl in Buffalo.
I'll tell you what, Dylan,
He's a
it's a
stud.
smart move.
He's a good ball player.
Yeah, so I'm excited about what the Bills did. They also signed Latavius Murray. You familiar with his work?
I am.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Damian Harris. The big running back room just got a lot older
He's old.
to go along with James Cook.
Yeah, Murray is not great anymore.
He had 700 yards last year.
Sneaky
Like
700.
a sneaky 700 in 12 games. So I was
Okay.
very surprised by that. But
All right.
exciting stuff. Ole Miss recruiting's doesn't seem to be going well. I'll end with that. We'll see where it goes.
Chris Beard, Ole Miss basketball. just
That's going extremely well.
Cameron
Ugh.
Barnes, Duncanville, 3-star, 4-star, depending on
Yeah.
where you look, but
Yeah.
a good player nonetheless.
Should Texas have just kept Beard? I mean, really?
Probably not.
No, who
Yeah.
cares? Does anyone care?
Yeah, a lot of people care.
No,
Dylan.
I mean, not the Dom Vi thing.
Oh.
Who's giving Ole Miss shit for hiring Chris Beard? Is anybody?
Nobody. It was 48 hours of
48.
like,
You get it through that
Yeah.
first 48. Boom.
That's all it was.
Mhm.
I imagine when he rolls into LSU or some of these other less than favorable arenas, he's going to be hearing it from the student section. But who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't last long.
They're probably not going to schedule any home and homes with Texas or Tech in the coming years.
Mm.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Well, Texas, when they join the SEC.
True.
Yeah.
Of course.
Exciting stuff, Dave. Playoff hockey, NFL draft, Ole Miss football recruiting. That's where my head's at these days.
That's Brett Merriman,
To go on
folks.
with my full-time job.
And you can hear him on the Cold Stove podcast. The Cold Stone podcast just doesn't hit.
No, that's like a dessert show. I'm not a big sweet tooth guy.
Not a sweet tooth guy.
Nope.
All right. Well, we're going to bring KJ on. Brett,
Thanks,
as
guys.
always, thank
You
you.
the man, Brett.
You know what I love, Dylan? Other than having Brett on, I love saving money. I love finding places that I'm wasting money and eliminating them, therefore saving me money.
A wasted dollar. You're out of here, buddy.
Bye. That's why we are big fans of our sponsor, Rocket Money. We all use it. It is so helpful. Subscriptions, old subscriptions, stuff we signed up for that we forgot that we don't even use anymore. It'll tell you Like, hey, you've been paying for this for like a year and a half. And I have to tell you, it's a humbling experience because you're like, wow, I thought I was on top of things. But Rocket Money will point out areas where you are lacking.
I feel like no one is immune to subscribing to something and then kind of forgetting about it. Like it happens to everybody.
There's just too much going on.
Yeah.
Way too much going on. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Dylan, what if I told you this? Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about, and chances are you're one of them. Like that Stars app just to watch one show, or that free gaming trial you never actually used. You had that come up. I'm not going to name names, but it was your son.
That literally just happened to me. Yes.
Rocket Money will quickly and easily find your subscriptions for you. And for any you don't want to pay for anymore, you just hit cancel and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. It's that easy. I did it recently with a newspaper subscription. Rocket Money has saved me, I don't know. I don't talk finances publicly, but a couple $100, a few
Whoa. I
$100.
didn't know you had it like that.
Over 3 million people have used Rocket Money, saving the average person up to $720 a year. Helps you manage all your finances in one place, and it automatically categorizes your expenses so you can easily track your budget in real time and also get alerted if anything looks off. Stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/bang. That's rocketmoney.com/bang. rocketmoney.com/bang. That's Rocket Money, formerly Truebill. Check them out. Can't recommend it enough. Well. Live from parts unknown. It's KJ.
I couldn't be happier to be here. And if I sound subdued, it's probably because I'm hidden in a small corner of a very, very, very nice public library that I'll probably be asked to leave at some point. But
Wow.
I've gone through all sorts of hoops and hurdles to make sure that we could get this pod off today. So I'm happy to be here.
You sound we're gonna have to do something with this, Randy. We're gonna need a screenshot of KJ because this looks very sus, and like I'm like wanting the wall behind you to fall down and just like there'd be like kids playing Ring Around the Rosies behind you or something. It looks like a wild
I'll do a
scene.
360. Do you want me to show you how extravagant this situation is? I don't mind standing up. Well, let's get this out of the way. I'll pull back the curtain here for the good people here.
You're gonna need to go to
So,
YouTube to catch this footage, folks.
But,
Oh no, there's
I'm-
people next to you.
Mhm,
What are you
mhm.
doing? This is a guerrilla podcast.
You are truly the bad boy of podcasting.
Your boy is pirate podding today. It is
You're the Che Guevara of
Yeah.
pods.
yeah, you would think that most public libraries would allow you for a small nominal fee to reserve a study room, or like I typically do, just go to a nice little co-working space. But the good people in Frisco, Texas, say if you do not have a state of Texas residence or a city of Frisco residence, your money is no good here.
Damn. No love for the pods.
Sheesh.
Well, we're gonna talk draft stuff. We had Big Game Brett give us his official big game grade of the week to the Bills, and we don't have to do our draft grades yet. We know people are champing at the bit for that, but we're gonna make you wait like a little bit longer, maybe like till the end of next season before we grade the draft. But highlights, lowlights. I don't know how much you guys watched Thursday night. Biggest thing for me, Jonas Brothers getting a lot of FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
Probably on there a little too long, just trading old Jonas Brothers stories. Is this good content?
Which network were the Jonas Brothers on, or they are across all of them? 'Cause I somehow didn't. I watched the whole first round and somehow just didn't really see much Jonas Brothers on my screen.
ABC, ESPN, I think. So if you watched the NFL Network, you might have been
Okay.
free of them, but also full of like Emmanuel Sanders and Rich Eisen.
Okay.
Not a Rich Eisen guy, huh?
I love the 40-yard dash.
Is it a good bit? Are we still doing it?
It is a good bit.
It's a good bit.
I
I'm
enjoy
kidding.
it.
I like Rich
It's a great bit. A full suit, a man in a full suit running any amount of distance is always a good bit. Reminds me of the Mentos commercial.
the Fresh Maker.
Mm-hmm.
Did watch the entire first round. First round, very exciting. By Saturday, you're kind of over the whole thing, you know. Plus, it moves really, really quickly. A lot of suspense, a lot of drama, a lot of excitement in the first round, though. Will Levis is probably the story of the day.
Okay. I have been told, I've heard people much more into this than I am, that ESPN, ABC, they were going to make a concerted effort to not focus on these storylines, like the dudes who are falling, like the Aaron Rodgers, the Johnny Manziels. You know, they've done this, they do this every year. And I feel like they did it a number of times with Will Levis. And I'm assuming that a lot of that has to do with him just being surrounded by hots.
Mhm.
His sister, his girlfriend, Randy, big fan of his girlfriend, as we learned this morning.
His sister, while pretty, looked too much like him, especially when they were sitting next to each other. So I was just, it threw me off. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
His girlfriend was very attractive.
Mm-hmm. This is the part of the
I
pod where we
couldn't
get
get
horny.
into it, he says.
You-
Yeah, I mean, I can't laugh at him. I was on the beat of monitoring his sister's Instagram follower count because my mind was blown. That within, I don't know, by the third time they showed them, I think I screenshotted about 4 times. Her follower count jumped by about 50. And by the time he was drafted, from the time I started tracking, she had added 5,000 followers. It was a great day for her.
Great
A
day for the
lot. I
Levis
don't.
family.
I'm sure there were online accounts who were so lowly to be posting it publicly, while I was just giggling and enjoying that content of a fellow Wisconsin Badger privately.
He was interviewed leading up to the draft and said, I will only attend the draft if I feel like I'm guaranteed to be a top, I think he said top 15 pick. So he felt really good about his chances of going very, very early in the draft. He got some bad intel.
The smoke was there, dude, and it's like the talking heads on ESPN talking him up, and it's like, oh, look, the line moved. Like he's now expected to be like the first pick.
Based off a Reddit post, I think that is how that whole thing started.
Somebody did him wrong.
A Reddit post, and I forgot the account that actually posted it and how, like, you know, valid or whatever this account is. But yeah, they said, like, Will Levis has been told that he's going, I think, number 1 or number 2. I think he was number 1 overall to Carolina. Obviously not true.
My favorite thing about the draft, other than getting to do the Dolphins fan video, which is the bit that everybody looks forward to and no one's tired of. My favorite thing is the watching the disinformation campaigns from like teams' front offices, and they have their guys, their journalists, their their Adam Schefter types, their all the talking heads that they talk to, and they'll leak something to them. In reality, what it is, it's not their actual what they're planning on doing. It's something that they know is going to get put out there, and it's going to make, hopefully, in theory, other teams react and maybe panic and trade up. Um, and I'm wondering, I don't know what the angle would be with Levis. I don't know who would be playing that, but it's hilarious. It's such like state sponsored media, people just using journalists to like get their message out there for their own benefit. But
2 thoughts there. I think the Cardinals could have been a part of that, given that they were the ones who did a great job of trading back. Then, wouldn't you? Well, I guess they would be the ones like hyping him up for somebody to trade them to get that pick. Um, and second, I don't want to say it too loud, given my proximity to a certain facility here in this town. But do you think this disinformation for, I don't know, the Dallas Cowboys had a lot to do with somebody telling their local NFL network beat writer, like using the word tight end over and over? Maybe it was just misinterpreted. That was the red herring. I also won't say the name, given that she's a Wash Beauty, a good friend.
oh,
Okay.
I gotcha.
I didn't. You somehow made that horny. I didn't think you'd
Yeah,
do it, but
sometimes
you did it.
horniness goes over our heads.
Yeah, KJ can sneak one in on you.
I
if you're
thought
not ready
KJ was
for
going to be on his PG shit since he's sitting 4 feet away from a stranger, as he just evidenced. But no, he's gonna do it. He's not gonna get like too blue with it, but he's gonna work it in if he has to, and I respect that. And he's rocking the Roback hat and the too much dip long sleeve tee. Very cool.
Very identifiable, very low key here, just completely flying under the radar. Um, this is the first podcast I've ever done where there's a fully exhumed like T-Rex skeleton 100 yards from me. It's blowing my mind.
Damn.
Blowing my mind.
Wow.
Blowing Dillon's too.
I need to bring the homie there. Check it out.
It's pretty. Go visit Uncle Klein. I think I would say 11 out of 10 must visit for sure.
Okay. How about that Deuce Vaughn pick? First of all, just the pick on its own, even without the cool story.
What round?
6th to the Dallas Football Cowboys.
He's a fucking baller.
So
yeah, he's a tiny lad. He weighs a buck, what, 70? He's
bigger than that.
That dude is fucking good. He's a ball player. He hides behind those big offensive linemen. He kind of squirts out of there and is in the open field untouchable. I love the pick. I really do. I think he's going to play for years.
I think you always are like, I'm like hesitant to be like, no, dude, this dude is a baller. Because it's like, am I just saying that because he's a Big 12? He played in the Big 12, and I watched him play like a number of games and watched him like tear up a number of defenses.
He's a pain in the ass to play against.
He is. And the obvious comp is Darren Sproles, who I think had 1 inch on him.
Same university.
Yeah. So they did not take a running back, but I don't know. I think it makes me happy that the running back that we did take is 5'5", but also electric, absolutely electric, and is going to get a handful of touches a game, hopefully.
And we get the very touching video from the Cowboys war room. His father, Chris Vaughn, is that correct? Is on staff with the Cowboys. He's a scout. And so that whole, like, he got to make the phone call to his son and, you want to come to work with me next week. That was very cool to see.
Yeah, that hits diff. That hits diff if you when you have kids. If you guys are out there and you don't have kids, you hadn't done the proper stuff, the sex to have a kid, or you're just unable to, like, just wait till you do. And then you'll go back and watch that video.
You could say if you have a father, which all of the listeners presumably do, and they were on the receiving side of the call, that's a pretty, again, the way he phrased it, the way they pulled that off. Granted, it was like made for TV Dallas Cowboys content, but that cut right through, all of that facade. Legitimately getting like kind of chills thinking about it.
And then for them to cut it, and then for him to hand the phone to Jerry, so Jerry could just ramble through explaining why the moment was important. It's like, dude, we could have cut this clip after Chris Vaughn makes the call, because Jerry doesn't make the clip any better. He actually, what does he say? He says, "We is handing in your card." That's my Jerry. I've been working on it.
That's good.
It's classic Jerry. And I honestly,
which is Jerry was like Foghorn and Leghorn.
Yes, he got extremely folksy on that too. Your daddy gets a little bit big game Brent, not to be confused with Brett. No, that's my favorite thing each year is the reactions and like the guys who get picked, who are genuinely happy and getting to see the secret audio that they post to the Instagram a couple hours later. Love it. Give me all of that. I think it's great. There's KJ. We're beginning to worry. We thought maybe you were getting censored.
Oh no. These people can't stop me. I say that very, very timidly, like they absolutely can.
They could probably stop you.
I want to say, given the Deuce Vaughn pick, we know that Tony Pollard's coming off an injury. The next rumors that we've seen have been tied to the return of Zeke. How upset are you that that's now the newsreel?
There's no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no effing way. We're not bringing Zeke back. I will cry.
Who's your other running back? Who's your main running back?
I don't know.
Pollard.
Don't worry about that.
It's Tony
KJ,
Pollard.
just don't worry about all that.
Look, I'm not feeling super optimistic about the Cowboys next season. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, well, okay.
I'm not.
Well,
why is that?
Well, I feel like I'd give their draft a B-. I don't like that they're running Deuce Vaughn and Pollard out there. What?
We just talked. You just said you like the Deuce Vaughn pick.
I think it's for the 6th round. I think it's a good pick. I don't think the Cowboys are going to have an excellent running game. I mean, I could be wrong.
There's going to be another move made,
but more to the point,
and hopefully it's not the guy they just cut.
More to the point is that Philadelphia had an excellent draft. They also added DeAndre Swift, I believe,
made the trade.
The Lions.
DeAndre. Yeah.
And Philly got a lot better, I think, over the last few days.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. Yeah, it does look good here a few days after the draft, but Jalen Carter, we knew he was going to slide a little bit. Didn't know. I was hoping he would slide, be there at 26. That would have made things interesting. But yeah, dude, Philly looks good. Philly looks good. Philly has their issues though. I don't know. I think my favorite pick was the Bills. Like Brett was saying, I loved Kincaid in Buffalo, the Utah kid, because
Okay.
a lot of people were saying that he put up those numbers mainly because it helped when Utah put former quarterback Jaquindon Jackson at running back. It really freed up Dalton Kincaid, as a blocker, but as a pass and a route runner. But I still like that pick a lot. KJ, your thoughts?
Many were thinking he put up those numbers, like majority of them, when they were wearing their airbrushed helmets. But
gotta get past the airbrushed helmets. You got to get past it.
It did throw me off whenever they cut to his selection, and presumably in either a house or an apartment or whatever. But Kim Rising is always like very identifiable, but also kind of like, wait, where do I know that guy from? Face. You see him and he's got his goatee and his long hair, and I'm like, wait, why is he there? Like, oh, of course he's there. It also gave off like, hey, he's having his draft party from his like sophomore year apartment. But shout to him. I like that pick too. I do think the Jags kind of had a hand in making sure the Cowboys didn't have Dalton Kincaid available with their like trade back one spot and then trade back two spots right in front of the Cowboys. I thought that was all tied together, but Cowboys are happy with who they got. I do love the Mozzie.
So that video, we did a meme on Too Much Dip Instagram. It's Mozzie Smith. It's from about a year ago, maybe longer. What is that drill? He's doing like a stair hop. There's probably a better name for it.
It's probably like an explosion or it's bounding, but it's vertical like steps. I can't explain it.
And I remember seeing that because he was Bruce Feldman does a freak list before every college football season. It's just like his list of the biggest freak athletes in college football. And I remember seeing him posting that video and being like, "Oh fuck, that's sick." And then I didn't put it together until
it's a large man.
Cowboys picked 330 plus, right?
Yeah,
doing those kind of hops. That's pretty nasty.
I like the pick. I thought they reached a little bit with the tight end they drafted in the 2nd round. But there's a run on tight ends. Their hand was kind of forced there, I think. I from a personal standpoint, I love the DeMarion Overshown pick because he's just a great kid, Longhorn.
I was
very excited to share that news. When I saw that, I'm like, I'm sure Dylan sees this or saw a tweet on it, but like, I was excited enough to be like, hey, this is news for specifically Dylan. I was happy about that.
We were texting with our friend Klein about it. Very excited about that. I think he'll thrive in that Dan Quinn defense.
Yeah, I told you this yesterday. I just have trouble disassociating him with that Texas defense that one year that I swear to God they were one of the worst tackling defenses in the Big 12, and they just missed. He lays the wood when he gets you, like he gets you. But I just feel like he missed a number of tackles.
I don't remember many missed tackles from him over the last couple of seasons.
Hopefully I'm wrong because he was really sick coming out of college.
I think we've highlighted him as like being the exception. I think the Kansas game when they missed bowl eligibility, we talked about Xavier Worthy and Overshown being like all in at the end of that game and visibly like distraught when they lost that game. And I think we talked about that being a really good sign going into the offseason. And then Xavier Worthy like went into the portal and then decided not to stay in the portal like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Hey, regarding the quarterbacks, am I the only Anthony Richardson fan here? Because I'm very into that dude, and I know it's probably going to be a wild ride and it's going to take some time, but like I kind of love it.
I can't get past the numbers he put up. What was Florida like 6-7 last year,
Fair.
and
Yeah,
his
they weren't good.
completion percentage was like 53%. I know that he's got all the athletic ability in the world, especially for that position, and he has a huge arm. But we've seen guys fail that have tools like that. So I don't know. I need to see it first. He obviously has a ton of potential, but I don't believe right at this moment that he's gonna be an excellent quarterback in the NFL.
Is this because you're scared that he's going to beat out Sam in Indy?
No,
He beat me to
no,
it.
I'm not. Sam has not had a
Okay.
good run.
No.
So
KJ.
Yeah, that quarterback room. Yeah, you beat me to it. That's exactly what I was going for. I think that quarterback room has what, Sam in it, and then Jake Fromm. I want to say, like, it's just a group of names that you look at. You're like, okay, yeah, Anthony Richardson's going to be playing way too early, and I think if anything, that's my concern for him. Is I like who was it? So people were talking about like, should the Colts pick up a quarterback in third or fourth round? I don't think that'd be that controversial. I think that's what Washington did when they picked up RG3 and then picked up Connor Cook.
Mm-hmm.
Did that
Was
T-Rex
it Connor
just
Cook?
eat a kid?
Yeah, I think somebody just got Jurassic Park.
It's hard to tell what audio picks up because that might have been 400 yards away, but it did echo.
Yeah, we heard the kid just sprain his ankle or whatever just happened.
Was it
Stubbed
Connor
his-
Cook the year that they picked up in third or fourth, or is it Kirk Cousins? Who did they draft after RG3?
Oh, I don't remember. Connor Cook, I feel like was much after RG3, Michigan State. But
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, so whoever it was, they drafted two quarterbacks in the same draft, and I thought that worked out well. And I would have liked the Colts to have done something similar, but again, given that they've got Big Sam in the room, who knows?
Okay. Any other thoughts, parting words on the NFL draft?
Shout out Bijan going 8 to Atlanta. Don't love that team doesn't really have much of a quarterback situation.
Desmond Ridder.
So hopefully
I like
they
Ridder.
figure that out and they don't run him into the ground too soon in his career.
It could be nasty.
Very happy for him.
It could. I don't know what Ritter's going to turn into, but I mean they've got what's the kid's name? Pitts, tight end is. I think he's still got potential. And
And their wide receiver they got last year from USC is good. Real quick, hats off to Kansas City because I think the draft turnout that I think my mind goes to for like, hey, that's a packed, decent scene was like Nashville a few years back. You got all those articles about bachelorette parties or complaining about it, but like Kansas City showed out. It looked like a music festival.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would ever want to go to that, but it did have a good turnout. And it just hit me, KJ. It sounds like you're at a sleepover and you've got the covers pulled over you and you're trying to like talk to a chick on the phone, but like all your boys are like running around like playing paintball or something, like throwing like toilet paper in a house. Like you can hear them in the background. That's just me.
I'm trying. I don't think these headphones have like voice isolation on them.
No, you're
I wish
good.
They did.
You're good.
Shouts to the people out there for hanging in there.
Hey, I don't know how you guys started your day, but I started mine with athletic greens. How about you, cowboy?
Yes, I did too, as that is how I start all of my days, David.
I started taking AG1 specifically. Why is that? Because I don't like taking like 7 different pills, vitamins to get like the stuff that I need to be healthy, to sleep better, to be more alert.
I've gotten to a point to where on the few days here and there that I like forget to take it, maybe I'm too busy and I hustle out the door to, like, trying to get here or whatever, I feel like incomplete. I feel like I'm missing a huge like vital step in my day, then it kind of sets me back a bit. Don't like it.
Yeah, because with one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, energy, recovery, focus, and aging. All the things. Those are all the things that, hey, I'm not telling tales out of school here. We're guys and we're in our late 30s, mid to late 30s, some might say. We have to start thinking about this stuff, and it's a noticeable difference when I do take it, like Dillon said, or when I don't take it. I feel like I didn't do something, and I need to go home and do it at lunch or something, which I will do. But normally, what I do, I wake up, put it in about 6 ounces of water, put it in a little shaker, shake it up, and just pound it. It tastes good, and it's hard to believe you're getting all that good stuff, but you are. It's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy free, or gluten free. Dylan, you'll like this. Contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting good. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1 year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/bang. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/bang to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Talk a little NBA,
Little round ball.
Dropped today that doesn't look like Dillon Brooks is going to be back in Memphis.
Doesn't look at all like he's going to be back in Memphis.
At what point do we feel bad for him?
He made his bed.
He will get picked up by another team. The
Yeah.
joke has been he's going to be playing in China with Ben Simmons. I don't think that's the case. Look, he's probably going to, the way this thing works lately, he's going to end up in Dallas, and I'm going to have to just own it, and it's going to suck.
Yeah, Toronto. I could see him landing there. I don't feel bad for him, but I do think that short memory, needs to exist. Like, Draymond has done worse, said worse, but he's also has the skins on the wall. Pat Beverly, he's done worse, said worse, but he doesn't claim to be better.
Pat Beverly's
And
the comp. Draymond has been an integral part of
that's
the
true.
Warriors dynasty, where it's like Pat Beverly's never.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, saying Draymond's replaceable would be an insult to his career. So yeah, and Pat Bev did his time in Minnesota. He's done his time with 10 different teams. So I think that Dillon Brooks is going to end up somewhere, get himself a bigger contract after that, and then underperform, and that's just going to all happen again.
Love it. We get Warriors Lakers. Does that, as a team who, I assume we're all Mavs fans here, Dylan's a Spurs fan. They weren't in the playoffs either. Does that get you excited? Because, it has to get the NBA execs excited. You're getting Curry, LeBron again.
This is a marquee matchup that's going to get a casual like me to tune in to games for sure. Love Steph.
Who we pulling for?
LeBron.
You are? Okay.
The Lakers is the team he plays for. I'm pulling for the Lakers, I guess.
Lakers.
LeBron is second all time on the GOAT list, and I want to see him maybe pick up another ring on his way out. Don't think he will, but I would love to see it.
You don't have to bring up the GOAT debate every time you bring up LeBron. Just letting you know.
He's number 2 on my GOAT list.
We're gonna get hate mail. People are gonna write us letters and mail it to our office.
I was worried he was going to say the all-time scoring list, and we were going to be forced to remind people that Karl Malone once impregnated a 13-year-old, but that's not where he was going with it. Give me
just a force.
With a sweep is my preference.
This man's in public just forcing these. He's cracking up. I hope that kid back there figures out that Rubik's Cube or whatever he's twisting around. I keep hearing something. I don't know what toy that is, but geez, man, he's been working at it. Yeah, look, heck yeah, playoffs fun. I'm tuning in. I'm a fourth quarter tune in guy. Assuming there's no NHL on, I've watched much more NHL just because it's been better. I'm sad for the Kings. I found myself pulling for them. Davion Mitchell, former Baylor great, pulling for that team. Harrison Barnes, former Mav great. Nice dude, great dude. Did not come up clutch. But the Kings were fun, man. That was electric. The light the beam thing. Okay, a little played out, but still very cool. Cooler than anything the Mavs have going. We've got the fucking Maniacs, which is one of the worst bits in sports. We've got a drum line that's not even that. I don't know. It should be cooler than it is. I don't know. This isn't a Mavs bitch fest.
Who I'd like to see in the finals, because the Nuggets, I think we all settled on the Nuggets out of the West. I think we also mentioned Lakers, but Nuggets for sure. James Harden pulling out a win in Game 1 over the Celtics reminded me how fun it is to watch him when he's good, but also Embiid, like when he's back. I want to see Embiid and Jokic in the finals. That would be tremendous television.
I think that's the dream for me. I don't think the NBA would love the Nuggets in the finals just because they're probably not the biggest draw. But I mean, if it's enough to get somebody like our podcast into it, Jokic, Embiid, the MVP, the two your top two MVP candidates, that would be fun. It's weird, man. I don't know who I would pull for because on one hand, I do like Harden, and I do like Embiid. I don't like Philly, and then Denver. I've got really nothing against anybody on that team.
I'm a little disappointed in the Suns right now, going down 2 games to Denver.
Huh.
I thought we would see more out of that team. I know that Denver's a tough squad. I get it.
Denver's good.
Big Durant guy though.
Yeah. It is. I am getting some joy out of Chris Paul just absolutely melting down in game 1, just taking runs at people in the third quarter of the first game of the series, like just doing Chris Paul things, and then pulled from the game last night. I'm not sure what the status is there, but tough scene. I'm sure they'll get at least one back in Phoenix, but you hate to see it. Now it's time to party. This is the part of the pod where we do sports, a little bit of that, a little bit of partying, we have a little bit of fun. Did you guys see this Little League parent punishment in New Jersey? This is so phenomenal. If you are a youth sport parent and you're chirping the umps, not only will they kick you out, but they'll say, if you want to come back, you got to go volunteer as an ump for 3 games, then you can come back.
This is genius. I love it.
I would love to know how many fans do, because if it's me and they put that on me, I'm like, you know what? My wife can FaceTime me in. I don't need to go to the game. She can do a Periscope on Twitter or whatever.
I mean, this has become like a pretty serious problem. I mean, it probably has been for a very long time, but with social media, we see it more now. It's a very serious deal. And having a kid who's played Little League baseball, like I've been like animated in a game, and I don't yell at the umpires because they're like actual children, like 10-year-old kids. But if there's a punishment that makes you like be on the other side of like listening to these asshole parents yell at you, it's going to absolutely make a difference. I'm all about this punishment.
Counterpoint. Isn't this just going to create more backlash against umps? Because you're going to get these people who, if you're the kind of person who yells at umps over in a Little League game, I don't want you out there umping a game because I feel like you're going to do a bad job because you're a moron and you have anger problems. So this is just going to perpetuate that cycle a little bit.
It'll make you appreciate like what it's like to be an umpire though. And you're not going to get every call right.
It's a tough game, Dillon.
Yeah.
We're just calling balls and strikes here.
So I've got a close friend who's the commissioner of one of the nation's largest youth sport leagues. Not a name drop at all, but I sent him this article. He said it's a similar policies like in the works for his league in Indiana. He's more than happy to join us kind of with tales of his most outrageous parent interactions because he's not a small guy and he has a very short temper. He is more than willing to like have a parent lose their ass like at a game where he's in attendance, and he can't wait for this to like become a thing. But he did say like they would be forced to ref at a game that they're not affiliated with, so it's not their kids or like something they're emotionally close to.
That's
or
good.
Make it a pain in the butt for them.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this. DeGrom's on the DL, 15-day. Forearm inflammation. Okay.
Offense looks fantastic for the Rangers.
The bats are buzzing.
The bats are cracking, popping.
And gotta say, the rest of the rotation is stepping up.
The bullpen is ass.
Bullpen's not been great, but they were okay in the Yankees series when they did have to get in there. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is the book on DeGrom. I hate that our friends in New York, all our Mets fans, are like, yeah, I told you so. We dodged a bullet with this guy. And you know what? Let's see how it plays out. Let's just keep him on the shelf till playoff time.
Don't force him back.
No.
Let him take his time. Let him get healthy.
They will. Anytime you're dealing with the forearm stuff, I just learned this. That's kind of the potential precursor to the dreaded TJ. Tommy Johns.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? They were calling you Tommy Johns at the Met Gala last night.
Yeah, because I was wearing Tommy Hilfiger out there.
He definitely was. He definitely was. Joe LaCava.
All right, I'll go ahead and flip my forearm stuff usually being a precursor to HJ's. You said TJ's. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm in public, so I can't make that joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you just did.
My forearm inflammation's from that too.
You just did, KJ.
Joe LaCava going to Patrick Cantlay's bag.
Of course, the now former caddy of Tiger Woods.
Doesn't seem like a good thing for long-term Tiger, or for what the optics of what he might be after his latest procedure.
But if you're paying attention, you didn't have like an optimistic outlook
No.
about his
No.
longevity here.
No,
He's kind of done.
yeah, it's fine.
He's
I
kinda
wish he
done.
was going to anyone. I like Joe LaCava. I wish he wasn't going to one of the slowest players on tour's bag.
He wants to get paid though, and
Get paid.
That's a good guy to walk alongside if you're trying to stack paper.
Okay. And we did talk. Antonio Brown's
did.
in here. Brett led off with a heater. I mean, Antonio Brown, I don't know how he recovers from what Brett said about him.
What a shithead though.
Sounds like a real ass.
yeah.
A stupid ass,
He
Dylan.
is.
A real stupid dick, if you will.
Should we run it back?
Let's run it back.
Of course, Run It Back is the segment during which we talk about what we already talked about, David.
Mm-hmm.
They've been calling Dave Martin Scorsese. Antonio Brown, noted scumbag, as we just mentioned. It's Quebec, not Quebec, you dumb idiot.
Mm.
Houston Prob's getting a hockey team. Don't like that. Phil Kessel is still overweight and loves a glizzy. Dangle still, though, Dave.
Yeah, noted dangler.
Dude can skate. The dude on the Wild played a hockey game with a broken leg, but has he ever podcasted with a broken leg? Because I have. KJ is podcasting live from a public library, a place that is famously a very quiet environment. Despite being in said library, KJ remains diabolically horny. KJ coming to us live from Jurassic Park, where a kid, we heard, loses life.
The
live.
kid was eating.
And finally, KJ out here looking like he's calling from a 6th grade slumber party.
Wow. KJ, what books are banned at that library?
I'm gonna leave this podcast, go look for the anti-racist baby books, and see if they can check them out to me.
Very cool. Very cool. That concludes Run It Back.
Oh man, KJ, thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, thanks, Cage.
Love your buns.
We'll be
Thank
back
you, Randy.
next Monday, potentially with a guest. We're looking forward to it. Until then, bye-bye.
I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
When my team wins a big game, it's good. But when my team doesn't win the big game, you better look out, Buster. I'm a loose cannon. This is not good at all.